Okay. So what is Stack Exchange? So that's it's like a collection of websites which follow similar policies, and in each sub website of this big website, you can go in there and ask questions, and it's fully community driven, and it's sort of democratic in the sense that the moderators are elected by the users themselves. All right. Um, okay. So I use two main stack exchanges, which is physics stack exchange and mathematics stack exchange. I think most people in this room right now, this in this talk, attending this talk right now, would be interested in the physics one because from what I heard, they are mostly physics students. So in physics stack exchange, what can you do here? So the type of questions that you can ask from physics stack exchange are questions which are very conceptual. That means they're ones which ask about something more fundamental, and they severely discourage homework questions. They will downvote you to hell if you ask homework questions. So don't do that. All right. So how do you ask a question in the site? Okay. So if you're asking a public question, and this is the title. This is where you keep the question. You just want to put the title out there directly. Don't be like those people who put just like if they want to ask something about what is the adiabatic free expansion, they just write adiabatic free expansion, like the thing itself in the title. Don't do that. That's bad. Put a detailed title. Okay. And in the text, if you're quoting something, or was someone about to ask something? Okay, I guess not.
No, go on.
Okay, so if you're quoting something from a book or something, first you want to put this right arrow, and you can quote it from someone or something, and I can write the exact dialogue which I want to quote. Okay, and then I would write from where this quote is from, like underneath from where, and then I would write the body of my question. Okay, this guy said this and I have this issue, XYZ issue about it, and what exactly is the resolution? That's how most questions go. And you know what? I highly recommend you use this feature. What this does is if you press this button, it draws a line. So whatever you write here, the formatted, like this is the raw code of what you're writing in the text. So what comes out when you write in this is here. If you just scroll down, you would see how this would look like to someone just viewing the question, right? Okay, so I highly recommend you use this rule, like line, to separate the contents of your question. Okay, so there are two other the main things you would use in this top toolbox. This is the formatting toolbox, and you can use this to make your question more look more professional and make it better to read, basically. All right. So this is the bold button. If you highlight a text and you click the bold, it makes the text bold, as you can see here. And this is the italics. This makes it a bit slanty. This looks nice a bit, I guess. I don't use it much, but this is one of the more important ones. Hyperlinks. What hyperlinks does is that when you click on the text, it takes you to another page. For example, I take this Google Doc. I take its URL and I highlight a text and I click hyperlink and I paste that link. What would happen is in the post, I could click this link and it would take me to that page. It's a nice feature. Okay, and this is the most important one. This is the insert image button. This is the most important one out of all the options. Like, even if your question is terrible, sometimes the image option can literally save it, like keeping a good image in there, right? So presentation does matter on Stack Exchange a lot when you're asking a question. All right, so about these things. This is when you want to put it like notes. Okay, point by point. I want to say these things, and I want to just break the concept down into some points. And if I just want to say like that, I would use this. So I would put a list item, blah blah blah, and I would put the next one and something, and I would use this. And this is the non-numbered list. This is the black dots, and this is the reverse button. If you click this, you undo the action. The other buttons, this are not very important, and I personally haven't seen many people use it, but they tell you what it does, and you could look it up on the net, but it's not really that important for using Stack Exchange. Okay, so what type of questions are sought for by the site? So this site, as I told before, is run by this community of people. So what type of questions are these people looking for? That would be the main question, like what are they willing to help you with? Okay, so this is a question I asked a month ago, and it's my top question of all time. So it's basically like I'm asking, how can we just use the chain rule? Like dv by dt is equal to dv by dx times d of t. What it basically means? Bro, what is that? Okay.
Just some noise. Go on. Sorry.
All right. Okay. So dv by dt. So what you say here when you do this is you're saying that the velocity can always be written as a function of position, and then you can use the chain rule there. So how can you say that this should always work? Like this raises a serious existence question, and I asked about it. And well, I found this comment a bit funny. Welcome to the life as a physicist. But this was quite a popular question because it asked something fundamental. I got straight to the point. I put my equation. Okay, yeah, but I forgot to tell this about the formatting. You have to keep your equations in LaTeX. In the documents, I keep in a guide on Majax. Majax, I don't know why they call it this, but the Majax and LaTeX pretty much have very similar syntax. So you want to keep your equation in LaTeX. So if you want to keep the equation in a sentence, you would enclose the equation in $2. So maybe I would write 3 is equal to 5. Okay, that's definitely wrong. 3 is equal to 3 into 1. So this encloses the sentence in this LaTeX, the math in the sentence. But if I wanted to keep one line for the sentence itself, I would enclose it in $. I will show you what happens if I remove the $, and I keep it back. And you're supposed to look at it here, around here. If I keep back the $, what I get is a full line dedicated to my equation. Okay, excellent. Okay, so this is one question which got quite popular because it asked something fundamental, as I said before. Okay, let's see. Let's see another question which got popular, and then we will see a question which turned horrible, which flopped really bad, or got downvoted to hell. Okay, so I forgot to tell you, what's the value of downvotes and upvotes? So similar to the Reddit karma system, if you click this up button, what happens is you like this question, you think it's quality, you think it's good for the site to have this question on board. If you click this down button, this means that you don't think the question is that good and it doesn't show any effort, so you put it down. You click it down and it will go to the bottom of the front page. So it's really similar to Reddit in a way, and you have the similar options for answers. And if you have an answer you like, you could press the tick button and you would accept it and you'd keep it as your answer. Okay, anyways, I think more than the technical thing, it should be emphasized, like what exactly is the concept behind the site. All right, so in this question, I read this book and I found something in the book which was confusing, and I sort of criticized the book in a way, and the people were up for it. They were like, okay, yeah, this is actually a legit question, and there was a lot of good discussion on it. So you could ask questions as far as criticizing already existing physics in reasonable bounds. Like I would not say to go and give a completely different theory there, but like what's already accepted, that there's a reasonable amount of things that you could criticize and people would be cool with it. Okay, so let's see a question which went terrible. So if your question is seen not that useful for the site or it's against the site policy, what will happen? It will get closed. So this is a bad thing. So this question I had asked about this technical calculation and it got closed because the site is not very supportive of technical calculations. It's supportive of technical conceptual question, as I said before, but technical calculation, it's not that supported most of the time. Let's see another close question for that matter. Okay, yeah, this was a straight up home. This was almost homework. This is like this is this question from a book called Pathfinder. I could not solve it at all, and I asked it here, and it did get an answer, but that answer got deleted, and this question also got closed. As they say, homework like question, blah blah blah. They will quickly shut it down if you ask anything homework related. So this is physics stack exchange. It has its good physics discussion. Oh god, today. Okay, no. Okay, it has good physics discussion, but as for actual help on doing a problem or some like very in problem help while you're solving some exercise, this is not the place to go unless it's based on something conceptual of the problem. Okay, so my preferred site is Math Stack Exchange, even though I have less quote internet points there. Okay, I forgot to tell you, if you click the top right, you can go to your profile, and what would happen is you would see the reputation. You would see a graph of how your internet points vary over time. It all sounds silly, but people do give a damn about these internet points. You can see how much people you impacted, like how viewed your posts and answers are, and yeah, and I was going to go on the difference between the physics stack exchange and the math stack exchange. The difference between physics and maths one is that the maths one is more accepting of homework type questions and computational questions. So let's see an example. Oh yeah, there's this really stupid thing I did. Okay, this is optimizing a quadratic in one variable with parameterized coefficients. So I have this quadratic, and if you see its coefficients are functions of theta. So this is put to 0, but if you extend it like f of x and theta, it is indeed like that. And I asked about this. This was a serious computational help, and I got a lot of help on this one. These guys plotted it for me, and they went in depth about any possible question I could have. And there's this one guy, he gave this really obscure way to solve it. So you can find different methods of solving than you would regularly think of here, because some people do stick to some unorthodox methods. So this site, compared to the physics stack exchange, is more supportive of homework questions, which is good. I personally support that policy. And what else type of questions do I have here, which was quote upvoted a lot. So tensor calculus proof of Torricelli's point. This question, I saw this lecture about it, and I asked this question, and I was like, okay, is there a citation? Why does this work? And if we can extend this. So this was something based on something I saw, and I wanted to make it a bit bigger. And and I did get a good answer for this. So I think that no matter what level you ask it, the gradations of the level of the people who are answering is such that you could get an answer for any level of question that you could possibly ask. So you don't have to worry about that. I think this applies to physics stack exchange as well. Though at sometimes I felt like if I ask something elementary, like because most of the people are in higher level there, they can't give a answer which would help a person who's just starting to understand. So that's a problem I felt sometimes, but it's not a major one. Let's see. Yeah, this was the stupid question that I was going to go to. Yeah, I just slipped out of my mind right now. Sorry. Yeah, so this question I had asked about the center of mass calculation. So this is just a basic thing, but it kept coming wrong, and it just turned out I evaluated the integral wrong. So they would help you even with homework questions. I did put a lot of effort into posting this. Like I took the photo of the picture I drew. I put everything in LaTeX. So if you just put the effort into a question, that's enough for the site, as long as the question is not too cranky in the sense that not too outfield, like reinventing math per se. Okay. Okay, so far, any questions? Any questions, guys? Key phone text. Any questions?
Can you tell us a bit about bounty?
Oh yeah, bounty. Yeah, that's a great question. Okay. So what is bounty? Let's see. Let's see if I can find some questions which are bountied. Bounty. Okay, yeah, this is a question which a person in the server asked actually, and he was confused. Why is the covariant derivative of the metric tensor physically zero? So okay, let me find another question which I could bounty, so I can demonstrate the process of actually doing that. Okay, yeah, this one. Yeah, I did like this answer though. Oh wait, I gave this guy bounty already, so why would I do that again? This one. Yes. Okay. If you go underneath your question, after you post the question, you have to wait like 1 or 2 days. Only then the bounty option becomes available, and you click start a bounty, and you can so you cultivate reputation points by answering and questioning. So you can place your reputation points as literal to how money works. It's like a wanted list. Okay, I need help on this question. If you do solve this question, you get so much more extra reputation points from mine. So so I'm giving the person my reputation points as sacrifice for them answering my question. So they would be more willing to answer my question. Okay, so if I say I give 100 of my stack exchange output points and I click next, and I could give a reason for why I want to give the bounty. Authoritative reference. So this is like I want a citation, canonical answer. So this is a problem which affects a lot of people, and we need a solution before we get out with our pitchforks or something. Answers are out of date. Sometimes information does get out of date. Draw attention. Yeah, this is pretty obvious. Sometimes you have a question which no one really cares about, so you might want to do this. Improve details. Current answer do not have enough data. Reward existing answer. Okay, yeah. This is usually this and this are the only reasons I ever bounty. I never done it for the first one. Okay. So you can leave a custom message, and what would happen after I press start the bounty, right? In like 1 day or so, what would happen is I don't know. There's some time limit, like 1 or 3 days, and in that time a lot of people would usually answer because everyone wants internet points. Everyone's running the rat race for that. There would appear an icon. Let me find one where I actually gave the guy a bounty. There would be an icon here, and it would be clickable, right? So if I press this guy would get my internet points, and I would lose my internet points. So it would be a transfer. Okay, let's see what else. What questions went horrible in this site? Oh, so let's see. To be honest, I haven't. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this one was horrible, but for different reason. Okay, I felt like I felt really awesome doing this one because I thought I found a completely new way to sum up the first 10 integers, and I asked about this method, how legit it is. Initially, there was a lot of criticism, but I fixed all of that. So you have to have an open mind. Sometimes people may say things which you don't necessarily agree with. So you need to have an open mind. That's one important thing. And sometimes you may be wrong completely. So you have to have an open mind. Otherwise, it's going to turn to conflict. You don't want that on the site.
They'll kick you out. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that would. Yeah, not just that. I guess that applies to real life as well. But be nice. This site is already mean enough at times. It can be mean, but the real reason for that is that they say they want to establish their policies. That is okay, an okay thing, but I do wish people are a bit more nice on the site. That's one thing I want. Okay. Anyways, going back on topic. Yeah, so there's a lot of discussion about this, and I was just asking if this thing is legit and if it has been done before. There turned out to be this other thread where people had done this in a similar method, but with another code generating function. I'm not going to get into that because that's not the topic. But so that's the thing. Like you could ask this verification method, but this was closed because it already had answers here. It was duplicate. So if you have something, well, unless you are asking for criticism, don't post a question. In this one, I just posted a proof and I was like, did anyone ever try this? Okay, no, don't do that. If you're asking for criticism on your method, do post that. but if there's a bigger thread, having your question like posted there. So that's one thing you should do. And all right, I forgot to say, before you post a question, be sure to research if that question has been discussed elsewhere. Check on Wiki and just do a Google search and make sure like you exhausted your resources. And make sure like once you do post one, post a question or an answer, you post all the citations of your research effort, and that's the thing. Okay, let's go into my worst questions, my hidden posts. Okay, let's see. I know. Trying to find something really bad. Oh yeah, this was when did I ask this? Yeah, 1 year ago. This was me 1 year ago. Around the time I first started using the site. So okay, this question I edited it to look better, but if you click here, you can see the history of the post. And this is the history of what all happened in this post. Okay, never mind. But when this was initially posted, yep.
Yeah, when you were editing it, can you just show us what's the minimum category for edit, like 60 characters? Can you just outline that?
All right. Oh, you want to know how many words you should have in the subject?
No. Like there's a boundary. So if I sort of post a question and I want to make an edit to it, or if someone has posted a question and I want to, I can hear myself from your end for some reason. Okay. Okay. So anyways, like if I need to make an edit on a question, mine or another person's, I need to make at least a minimum of 60 characters, if I'm not wrong. Am I right in saying that? Yeah. So just like a heads up, like if you can't just normally remove a comma and say, call it an edit, that wouldn't make it an edit. So that's a problem. That's a good thing, because otherwise people would just sort of keep tweaking whatever they've written as well. Also, can you like tell us a little bit about, if you make an edit on another person's question, it has to be sort of authorized by the moderators and the meta as well. Like, can you just outline a little bit about that?
Right. Okay. So if you're doing an edit, you usually need, as Pugsa said, you need a minimum number of words that you need to change. Otherwise, the edit won't even be like you can't even press the save edits button. Once you do an edit, if you have less than, I think so, once you reach some threshold of internet points, what happens is that if you just do an edit, it gets automatically set in. So if you're below this threshold, what would happen is that your edit would have to be approved by someone who has more internet points than that threshold. There's some number. I forgot the number, but I think it's 2000, right? Okay, so let's see. Okay, so editing another person's question. This is a great question, I think. Let me see if I can find anything I edited. All actions. Revised. Yeah, revised. Revised is the one. It's free. The value, not this one. Let me try to. All right. Okay, I forgot how to view the edit history, but basically when you're editing, right, you just want to you want to respect the person who originally posted the question, in the sense that you don't want to deviate too away from the idea which they were asking originally. You might want to first comment, add a comment, and you want to ask what they're asking. You want to clarify that. And once you clarify that, what you should do is you should, based on that, like try to rephrase some sentences and some parts of the question, and just try to make it more concise, and use this line. That's the one takeaway. I think I personally added the line to the question. So the thing is that when you add the line, right, so in this top part he's talking about the situation, and then in the bottom he's talking about my thoughts on the problem, what he tried. So I think that two things should be separated, because those two things should not be messed up, right? Mixed up, because like what the problem is and what your thought is, if it mixes, it kind of messes up the question a bit. So you want to keep those two things separate, and you want to create a line between those two, metaphorically and literally, right? So you want to do that. What else? So editing. I recently asked a question on the meta, and okay, let's see. Okay, never mind. But I had asked a question on meta. It was like we should increase repetition points for editing, but not many people are fans of that. They're like the editing is editing is not a measure of. I'm like, when I edit, I put a real big value to the site. So there should be more internet points for editing. So you can really see how much the addiction for the internet points affects you. But they're like. Okay, no, the edit is not, the repetition points are a measure of how good your questions and answers are. So that's the main purpose of the site, right? So repetition points are the main source of repetition points are your answers and questions. So focus on that. But as for keeping up the site in high quality, if you want to be a long-time member who wants to help out, I would recommend editing, and I do it from time to time. I really enjoy fixing or editing questions which I like. Let me find a good question which I liked a few days ago. Revised. Let me just see if I can find it. Yeah, this question I really enjoyed. What values the vector quantity would change? I tried editing this, but it got rejected. But I really like this question because it asks something fundamental which I didn't get. So it's like, I'm like, vectors, true vectors are geometric invariants. There's many kinds of vectors, bound vectors. Some things only act as vectors for small rotations, and the angular vectors are dependent on your coordinate system. So I thought this was a good question. I tried editing it, but they disallowed it. But I wish I could. Let me find one I actually edited. There's this one which I can't. What? Okay, I think I posted it on the server, actually.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this one which is about the surfaces, and this guy was like, you have this body moving through space or something, and why are we not keeping surfaces which roll? Because like rolling surfaces have less friction. This one. So this guy is attenuate. I don't like the word attenuate, but basically this guy is like, why don't we use rolling bodies? I think that rolling bodies produce less drag, and hence my question is why rolling bodies as little sphere cylinders are not. Okay, when he first wrote this, he wrote it as cylinders. He missed a Y everywhere for some reason, so I fixed that. But I thought the actual substance of what he was asking was quite high quality, so I did edit it. I took out the time to edit it. So if you want to maintain the site as something high quality, these are the ways that you can contribute. Okay, writing an answer. Yeah, this is the most important. So because I'm really angry at some of the people who write answers, so I'm going to take out my anger right now, but I'm going to show you how to write an ideal answer. Ideal. Ideal. I can't pronounce it. Ideal. Something. Okay. Okay, so this is an answer I wrote. So first you just want to give us, in my personal opinion, if you're writing an answer, you just want to give a non-mathy summary. And you can see this asterisks. I put the stars. So the stars are things which I will explain later on. These are actually independent of the thing which was asked, because this guy was like, I want a non-mathy explanation. I insist that I don't want mathematics. Okay, fine. Yeah, sure. So these are stuff which would be elaborated later on. So I elaborate on that. And you want to go step by step. I denoted every step of the algebra. Like some people just do a lot of step skips. Like if you're a beginner, like the step skips may be the part which is making you stuck. So you don't want to do step skips when you're answering. You want to make sure the other person, you're writing so the other person understands. So you want to go step by step from the complete basics. So, right. So even in this explanation of the steps, I put some star, asterisk of stuff which I would explain even later on. Okay, so what's this?
Just a quick question there. Can you add footnotes in Stack?
Footnotes. I never. I don't think there's a direct option to do that. But what I did is I used the line. I told you, right? The line is the most important thing in this site, I think. This button. So when I press this button, I get the line, and I use that to separate out the information. So in the middle, I just put the meat, the derivation, the actual answer, because this guy is no math. And footnote is the what stuff I mentioned, but I didn't fully explain. For example, here experimentally useful, but you could ask, why is it experimentally useful? And then I gave the explanation for why it's experimentally useful. And I gave the references. Always give the references. Always. Please. Like some people don't give citations, but I think that unless you're a literal PhD professor at this, you should always give citations, because like if something's wrong from where you learned, you can only people can only recognize that's the issue if you show your citation. So it turns out like that sometimes, that where you learned it from is indeed wrong. So I keep all my references always. And then in the end, I don't think this was necessary, but I was like, I may have made mistakes. I only started studying thermo, blah, blah, blah. And I kept, and so basically I was like, I kept all the citations, so I'm forgiven for that. So in a way, I sort of ripped these derivations straight out of a book, but I try to preserve as much of the meaning, and I try to do the steps which were usually skipped. So that's how you write a good answer, in my opinion. Different people have different expectation of what a good answer is, but I think from an objective standpoint, like these are the things that you should do if you're trying to write a scientific answer, right? So I think that's pretty much everything I could say about this site. Questions?
Can you tell us a little bit about the meta?
Oh, right. Yes. Yes, that's an excellent question. So I told you, right, the Stack Exchange is this collection of sites where you can ask questions. So you have the question where you ask the questions. You have the sites where you ask the questions, and you have the sites where you ask the questions on the site where you ask the questions. So that's like a layer of Stack. So that's like how do I say it? Self-reflection on the site in a way. So in the meta, there's no reputation. So there's no internet points here. So don't try to chase the internet points on this site. I recently asked on Meta, how would I bounty an answer? How would I bounty an answer? So I was just reading this answer on Mathematics Meta yesterday, and I thought it was so woke. I don't think I saved the link, but it was a really woke answer, and I just wanted to reward it. But I asked the question, but you can't bounty questions on Meta. So anyways, what you can do here is you can ask a question about the site, and you can discuss it. And sometimes once in a blue moon, you might actually end up changing the quote site policy in a way. What happened once was I did this proof. I don't think no one else has. I don't think I've seen this anywhere else. But what the thing was, it was I wanted to prove Leibniz product rule without using induction. I didn't like induction that much because I felt like induction, like I don't think it gives that intuition. Okay, there may be counter arguments for that, but I don't want to go into that right now. So I came up with a proof using Taylor series and Cauchy's product rule, and people are like, you shouldn't self-answer the question. So a lot of people, some people were like that, and I was like, there's an option to answer your question. I didn't know that was frowned upon, and initially this got closed. This actually got closed. This question got closed, right? And then after taking this to Meta and telling that to the peoples, we find it got reopened eventually, and I got a closed question removed. So you can ask for support. You can ask request for changes in site policy, and you can discuss. And there's this other question: how do I get answers involving conceptual when I first started this, for some reason, my questions kept attracting like this, just the solution. And I found it like super annoying because like I'm asking a conceptual question. I mean, no offense to these guys, but because they're doing a good work. But sometimes you just want something else, right? So I asked this, and I got a legit answer, and you guys something state sure, then state be more specific. That's what they said, basically. Be more specific. Okay, yeah, I accept that. But the thing is that if you ask something about the site on this Meta, you would usually have some discussion on it, and people would give you their thoughts. Personally, I think that the Math Stack Exchange Meta is more listening than the physics Meta. The physics Meta is like very strong with their policies. For example, yesterday this question got closed. This question did general ask this question deserved to be closed. I think it's this one. Right. Yeah. So this is that question I told you about, where I wrote about that answer about pseudo vectors, something, blah, blah, that thing. Okay. Anyways, I was like, this question is a great one. Why did you guys close it? Very sad. Okay. So I said that, and mostly people disagreed with that, and just straight up. And there was some discussion on that. Since this is a fully democratic system, like you can have many people having different opinion. There's not like one rigid god of the system, no like dictator. Even though the mods technically have a higher leverage, they can't abuse their power that much. So that's that good point.